Hello, it's Kassy, and I've got a special video today. I'm super excited about this. This is the new release for Sizzix Studio and Kerr. She's got 4 new stamp and stencil sets that I'm going to show you right now, and then we are going to make a project. I got all the goodies out, so we are going to get right to it and make a beautiful, fun project. Oh, I can't wait. I love new stuff, don't you? So exciting. So she's got 3 new stencils in each set and 1 new stamp set. I might even bring out the stamp set so you can see, because it's just a little picture there, but look at how big it is. Let's get a piece of white paper so you can really see it. But yeah, look at how beautiful. I mean, this girl is like almost as big as my hand. So I'm really excited about that. I love this, Feed Your Soul. And these flowers look similar to one from one of her last sets. So you could, if you have that set, you could use those together and they would coordinate really, really well. All right, so let's put this one back. This one is called, let's see, hold on a second. This one is called Feed Your Soul. Okay, so if you like that one, these are available now. So there we go, Feed Your Soul. The next one is, oh my gosh, when I was thinking about what do I want to make today, I literally went back and forth with all of these because they're all so amazing. This one I love so much. I love the numbers. I love these starbursts. The stamps are really cool. I'll show you these stamps close up. This one is called Strength in Numbers. And here is what the stamps look like. Again, some really nice big ones, very graphic, very, very cool. Ooh, I can't wait to use this. I'm so excited. I love these numbers so much. So this is Strength in Numbers. It's going to be hard to pick today, I'm telling you. All right, this one. Oh my gosh, I love these swirly lines and these little bolt things. And I've always loved stars, you know, and there's this great moth and the flower, or excuse me, the feathers. The R's have it. This one is called The R's Have It. There's a bunch of words here that start with the letter R. And I'll show you this stamp set too. I just think it really helps so you can see the scale and the size. Look at how big this feather is. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is so amazing. Wow. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so the R's Have It. That's this set here. And then finally, we've got 4 this time, which we had 4 last time. But this is very exciting. This one is called Ad Astra. Yes. Oh my gosh, I love it. Of course, she had to come out with a space one. If you know Kat at all, she loves space. I love these sort of bursts here. You could use them separately or together. This one is really cool. The little scattered star sort of speckles here. This is really great. And let me show you the stamp as well. Let's get that out of here. Look at how big this astronaut is. Are you kidding? Look at, he's as big as my hand. That's insane. So, so good. Oh my gosh. And I love this planet here. This one's going to be so fun to use. You know, I do a lot of art journaling with these, obviously, and we're going to do an art journal piece today, but you definitely could use these for card making or scrapbooking or whatever. So don't think it's limited just to art journaling, okay? It's so hard to pick, but I think I'm picking this one today. Oh man, it's a really tough choice. I just want to make everything right now and use all of them because they're so beautiful. But we have to pick one for today. So I think I'm going to pick this one. Again, this one is called The R's Have It. Okay. So let's get all of the goodies out. Oh, I did. I was thinking I hadn't named and numbered them yet. I don't generally keep them in the packaging after because it just is too much. So anyway, I named them. Okay. Look at this stencil. Oh, I'm so excited. Ooh, this is going to be so fun. Okay. You could use these all together. Oh, man. Okay. Okay, here we go. I have so many things. Let's just get my space set up here. I'm going to be using modeling paste today. We haven't really used that much in the Sizzix Studio videos, and I love it. It's one of my favorite things. It adds texture like right away, and it's really easy to use, and you can use it lots of different ways. So we're going to do that. I've got my palette, my tear off palette here. We'll just start here. I use them over and over, especially if you've just used them with acrylic paint, because this paint dries and you can just work right over top of it. It's no big deal. Okay, we've got our registration tool. I'm going to take the stamping part off for now. We might use it later. I don't know. But I like to just have this as my base. It's nice, sturdy surface to work on. This is the sticky grid. Obviously, it's replaceable, you know, if yours is becoming less sticky or it's got a bunch of gunk on it. But I just like to use it. It keeps my journal in place. And then if I need to stamp or stencil on top and have it, you know, in place, then it's going to work great. So let's find a page here. All right. So see, my journal is just not going to go anywhere because it's sticky enough that it holds it. It's just great. I love it. I love it. So I'm using my white acrylic ink. This is a really easy, quick way. If you've got like, this is kind of a creamy, ivory-ish, vanilla kind of paper, right? So, which is totally fine. But I want a whiter surface. So I'm just going to use my brayer. This is my multi-tool from Sizzix. And I don't need it to be stark white, but I want it to be a little bit whiter and brighter. The white just gives it a little bit of brightness. Okay. And again, look, it's not everywhere. I didn't make sure it was perfectly done even. I just want it to be, and can you see that it's just a little bit brighter already? So that's perfect. And if you do a nice thin coat, it will dry quickly. All right, I really want to spray through this, and I have an idea, but I need a spray. So I've got a little spritzer bottle. It has a little bit of water in the bottom. It's hard to see, but just a little bit, maybe just a little in the bottom here. Okay, and I want like a light bluish turquoisey color, I think. So I'm going to use primary cyan. I'm using acrylic ink, and I'm going to mix a couple colors in the bottle and shake it up and see what we get. And this will make a spray for us, okay? So you can use, I did one full pipette of that, and then we've got primary yellow. I'm giving it a good shake. All right, and do a little bit of that. It's going to make it more green, obviously, blue and yellow there. I want to lighten it up a little bit too, so let's put a tiny bit of white. And I highly encourage you to mix your paint, even if you don't do it in a bottle like this. Okay, this is a pretty dark green. I want it to be a bit lighter. So let's add some more white. All right, I added almost a full pipette there. I'm going to put this on, shake it up again. It's pretty dark still. And I think I want more yellow. So you just keep going. Just keep doing this until you get what you want. Let's see how this looks. That's pretty cool. It's still kind of dark though, isn't it? That blue is pretty dark blue. The cyan, the primary cyan. I'm going to do 2 pumps of white this time. And then, okay, I do like this green. I was kind of going for a different color, but I don't know, the more I'm doing this, the more I kind of like it. I do want to add some more yellow though, because we added a lot of white, and that toned it down quite a bit, and I kind of want more yellow. So, okay, let's see. Oh, I kind of like this. This is almost like a grassy, springy green. That's pretty fun. Okay, let's just go with that. I'm enjoying that. So what I want to do here is I'm going to spray. So I'm going to cover up this side, okay, because I'm going to do something different over there. And I'm going to spray on this side. All right, just hang with me here for a minute. So, yeah, so now we're just going to, oops, we got to wait for the color to come through. Here it is, and I'm just going to keep going till I'm mostly covered. There we go. Takes a little bit for that color to really come through. Okay, now it's messy. Okay, as you can see, it's messy. which is great. I love messy. Got green fingers. That's fantastic. So now I've got all of this spray color on my stencil. So I'm going to lift. It leaked through a little bit just because we put so much spray down, but it's really okay. It's a really cool pattern. Now what I want to do, while this is still wet, I'm going to wipe just this one side, okay? Because I don't want that to transfer. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here in a second. I want to get the negative of this onto the other page. So I'm just going to flip my stencil and bring it up to the edge here and lay it down. Once you lay it down, you can't move it. Take your paper towel and just pat, okay? Gently pat here and there over the whole thing, okay? All right. And then when you lift it, look at, we have the opposite. So freaking cool. Oops, excuse me. This is amazing. I love this so much. And look at how it's a mirror of itself, but opposite. I love it. I'm going to dry it. Okay, this is nice and dry now. So cool. I'm very excited about this. I love these little bolt things or circles with the crosses through them. And I think I'm going to use the modeling paste with this. All right. So this is from the Amsterdam line with Royal Talent, and it's just modeling paste. So 8.5 ounces. It's really great. I love the tub. I love that it has a nice big wide opening here, so you can easily get any tool that you want to use in there to mix it up or do your thing. It's very creamy, and it mixes well with paints and does all the things. So let's see, what do I want to do? Okay, I think today we're going to mix it with some paint just for fun to try it out. Okay, so I'm going to put some on my palette paper here. And I think that will be enough, but I'll keep this off to the side just in case we need more. And I think I want blue, or this primary cyan. I think I want that color. It's a pretty deep color, but when you mix it with the modeling paste, it does lighten up a little bit because this is an opaque paste. So just be aware of that. Ooh, ooh, that's pretty. I might have put too much ink. We'll see. It's okay. It'll all work out. It's just art. We're just having fun, playing with our art supplies, making some fun art. And if you don't mix it up all the way, you'll get just like a like a swirly, you know, marbly kind of look. Maybe that's what I want to go for. I don't know. Let's see. That's a really nice color. But look at how much it lightened over the original. So just be aware of that. Okay, so I think I'm just going to let it be how it is. And I want this paste to kind of go frame around the edge in a fun, just like loose sort of way. So I'm just going to start putting this paste here and there. So you just really run it through over, I guess, run it over the stencil where you want to have some texture. And it's just sort of like spreading butter on some toast. Okay. I love this pattern so much. I'm very excited. Thank you, Kat, for creating these. And Sizzix, of course. Love having new, fun patterns and shapes to play with. Gets your creativity going and your imagination running wild here. All right, so we've done one side, so I just kind of went around the edge a little bit. Not too worried about what's happening. Okay, that one got a little messed up, but that's totally fine. I'm going to pull this one up. We'll just have a little blue scrapey there. But this is a really nice way, excuse me, a really nice way just to add a little bit of texture and dimension in really easily. And I like that it's blue already. You know, you don't have to stick with the white out of the box there. You can make it whatever color you want. So we're going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to hold it up a little because we've got it right to the edge and I don't want to squish those guys. So let's just put this where we want it and do the same thing over here. And I'm just getting a little bit at a time. You don't need a ton of paste and you don't really need it to be too thick either. You know, you want it thick enough to cover, but if it's too thick, you know, it just takes longer to dry. So just play with it. There's no wrong way to do this. And if your way ends up looking different than mine, that's great. That's really great. Just own your own practice, your own style, your own way of doing things. And let the process unfold as it will. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we got. Nice. Yes, I love this. Look at how it just adds this fun little thing all the way around the border. So I really do need to dry this before we move on so I don't smush any of them. Okay, this is pretty well dry. I'm going to let it sit for a little bit longer though while I work on the next piece. So I'm going to use this really amazing moth and this word block that has a bunch of R words: release, renew, restart, rebirth, repair, respect, relax, rise, refresh, and then it repeats. It's so gorgeous and I'm really excited. I have an idea I want to kind of try out. So I have this mixed media paper from the Van Gogh line from Royal Talons, and I often like to use this to do some stamping on. It's a really great paper, and I keep wanting to make a journal page in it, and I forget. I just need part of it, so I'm just going to rip out part of a sheet so I don't use the whole thing. And I'm going to put it right here, so it's not going to move on my mat here. And then, let's see. Okay, everything's sticking because it's sticky. Here we go. So first, I am going to stamp this, the text. I'm going to put my stamp positioner lid on the registration tool. Okay. Okay. So really, I don't really need this, but it's just going to make it simple. And I've got archival ink in shadow gray. It's just a nice light gray color. And I'm going to ink up. And this might be nice because I might have to do it twice. I don't know. Yep, we're going to go twice. Sorry, I'm off screen, but really I'm just inking up the stamp. No big deal. Pressing it down. Okay, I need to care more about that middle section. I think I'm not inking it very well. Okay, that looks great. And then I'm going to move my stamp down. I just want to do it a few times. Okay, and then pick it back up and ink some more. And I chose a light colored ink on purpose. You'll see why in a minute. I'm very excited to see how this works out. That looks great. I'm going to do it one more time though. Make sure I have really good impression there. Okay, and then I'm going to do it one more time. See what we can get down here. I just want a whole row of it. Okay, perfect. Let's just ink it up one more time and we'll switch. Okay. All right. 2 impressions. Okay, I'm done with this archival for now. That looks so good. Okay, and the stamp. All right, move that over there. Now what I want to do is take this moth and I'm going to stamp it up on top of this all the way down, okay? But this time I'm going to use black acrylic ink, okay? Very excited about this. It looks really great and it's super fun. Okay. All right, so here we go. And actually, unfortunately, I'm not going to use this lid. I am going to do it a different way because I need to be a little bit more fluid with my movement and I don't care about it being perfect. So I've got just a handheld little block here. Okay, so I'm going to use my black, put a little bit out here on the inking palette, and then honestly, I'm just going to dip this in here. If you've watched my other videos, you probably have seen me do this before, but it's such a great fun technique and you can stamp off until you start to get what you want. And then I would even recommend, like, look at, ooh, I'm so excited. Okay. Okay, so let's do this. We'll stamp off a little bit till we start to get what we want. Use your inking palette. That's what it's there for. All right, let's just do this. All right, this is why I made a whole, oops, I messed it up. That one looks great though. I made a whole row because, well, number one, I don't know how many of these I'm going to use. And number two, I knew that I might need some practice ones. Okay, let's see. Okay, I really only get 3 out of this. Let's see, I can do just the top of one. Oh, it's so good. Okay, yay. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. Oh, that looks so great. So you can't really see it through, but you kind of can. I love that there's the text behind it. And yeah, this is kind of perfect. Okay. I don't want to do any more, but I want to keep stamping because it's so fun. But let me just show you closer up. Okay. I love this technique because it's not perfect, but you get this nice painterly look. And I really am kind of obsessed with the way that looks. Okay, so we got the journal back. It's going to be so good. You could even, okay, what I'm about to do is cut this out. But this looks really cool just like it is. You could just stamp this word block all the way down and then put this over top right in your journal and let it be all together. And that would look really cool, wouldn't it? Yeah, really, really cool. Okay. Lots of ways that you can use these beautiful stamps. It's all good. All right, so the only thing I'm going to say, if you're using acrylic paint, which acrylic ink is an acrylic paint, it's just thinner, you want to make sure you clean it off before you move on so that it doesn't fully dry and get stuck in the cracks there. So I just put a little bit of water on here, and then I get a baby wipe or a paper towel or whatever, and then just kind of scrub it until your paint comes off of your stamp and you're good to go. So you can use acrylic paint on your stamps. I do it all the time and I absolutely love the results. So give it a try. Okay, I'm going to cut this out. I really don't know where I'm going with this page. I just had this idea and I wanted to test it out and I kind of love it. So I'm going to cut these out real quick. This is kind of crazy, but I really love this, but I don't love it on this paper now. I'm not going to get rid of this because I will use it somewhere else. And my original plan was to just cut out just the butterfly, but I love how the words are behind it and I want it to be in my journal. So what I'm going to do is redo this, okay? Putting this aside because I will use it somewhere else. But I'm going to do it on tissue paper, the same thing I just did. So let's cut a piece of tissue paper so it's a little bit easier to manage. Okay, sometimes this happens. You do something, you have an idea, and then you need to like sort of adjust it a little bit to fit what you want to do. I want to see through the stuff underneath, so I need to do this on tissue paper, okay? So I'm going to move my journal back out of the way. I'm going to put this on here. This is a really great surface to use with tissue paper too because it's going to hold it down really nice and sturdy, and also it won't tear it, you saw when you lift it up. So very cool. So I'm just going to quickly go through this process again, okay? Here we are. I've printed on the tissue, and now I'm just going to lift it off gently and look at how great that looks. Very, very exciting. Now I can bring my journal page back in and set it on top here, and that's kind of where it's going to sit. This is going to look fantastic. I do want to trim as close to the image, the stamped image as I can, so we don't have too much excess tissue hanging out. Okay, get rid of some of those little fray lines. It's good also if you want to tear against the edge, but I'm feeling like I just want to get through this part, so I am just cutting it, but you could tear it too. And I want it to go down the whole page like this. So good. I'm so excited. Okay, Now for this next step, you do want to make sure that this is fully dry. What I'm going to do is use some Mod Podge Ultra. I like to use this with tissue paper or napkins if I'm putting it down on my page. I also want to put a clip here because this page keeps curling up on me. So I'm just going to lay that flat. Okay, let's do the same to this side. I just have a mini clip for this side, but it works still. Normally this sprays, but apparently I did not take care of this nozzle. So we're going to have to use a paintbrush. No big deal. Okay, so I've just got, like, I use an older paintbrush that I don't really care about. And I'm just mixing it up in here. And it's basically like spray glue, Mod Podge, right? But it works so well for tissue and stuff. Normally, again, I would spray this, but I didn't apparently take good care of that nozzle. So that's my bad. All right, let's see. So we're just putting this Mod Podge Ultra. I like it because it's super thin and it really holds the tissue down really, really well. So I'm just putting it everywhere, and then I'm going to gently lay this on top where I want it. So good. Okay, and then I put it over the top as well. So this is, yeah, if you're doing it this way, you want to use products that aren't going to be water reactive, you know, or else they will run when you do this process. And I like this because the reason I wanted to do tissue over that paper that I was originally stamping on is a couple reasons. One, the paper is opaque, right? So it would just sit on top of the page, which looks great and for certain things. But I wanted this technique where you could see through it. So now you can see the pattern behind, and this just sort of lays right on top of it as a nice thin layer. And the other reason I like using tissue sometimes and stamping on it like this is because when this dries, you'll see the raised elements here are still raised, and they can kind of come through. So it's just a really nice way of marrying the layers together and creating a really interesting, unique second layer, I guess. So I really do need to dry this now before we move on. Okay, to tie these two sides together a little more, I'm going to use the stamp with some shadow gray archival ink on this side. So I'm just going to ink it up, and this is going to be real loose and like messy because I don't care about the whole design. I just want some of the words poking through here and there. So I'm just using my hand, okay, and that's even good. Now that brings some of that over here, all right? Okay, for the next step, I really want to use, let me show you, this unfolding and breathe, okay? And I'm gonna, I cut a piece of, another piece of tissue paper for this side, and I'm going to stamp unfolding on this side, and I'm going to stamp breathe. Okay, so I first need to move my journal because we're going to stamp right on tissue again because it's so fun. Why not? All right, so we're going to put this down here. Just if you're going to do this, just make sure you don't have too many wrinkles, unless you want wrinkles. Wrinkles are fun, but just be aware of them. Okay, so that's down here, nice. And then I've got the primary cyan, give it a quick shake, and I'm gonna do the same thing I did for the black. So I'm gonna put a little bit down here on my palette paper. Okay, and then I didn't have a long stamper thing. Whatever, I make up names, it's okay. So I'm using a ruler. I have an acrylic ruler, and this has the word unfolding on it, and I just want it to be kind of random here and there, so that's kind of why I'm doing it this way. So here we go. I just like to be in the moment, do the things, don't worry about having all the perfect tools and whatever. I will need a piece of scrap paper, oops, on the side here, so I can do some practice runs. Okay, I see what's happening there. Okay, ooh, that's so good. Okay, so I'm picking up my paint, just kind of doing the same thing I did last time, making a good puddle, but I want it to be kind of spread out. Let's do another test. That looks great. So see what I'm doing here? Okay, so now I'm gonna just, I want it to be all, you know, horizontal this way, but I don't need it to be perfectly spaced or even, you know, I don't know what I'm saying. I just want it to be kind of here and there. And I like this. Just imagine it on your page, you know? Okay. So I really like that. So again, this is acrylic paint. So we're just going to get a little bit of water and paper towel or baby wipe or whatever. And we're just going to quickly give it a wipe and clean it up before we move on. And then the second stamp that I want to use, this Breathe, is much smaller, so I can use my acrylic block for this. I'm going to do the same color, and I'm just going to pick up and I'm going to test it, make sure I think we're good. So this is going to fill in some of the spots, but also I want it to still be kind of random and whatever. I don't care. I don't even care if it's like fully stamped, you know, I just want it to be like here and there. Whoops. A little bit more on that one. There we go. Okay, yes, this is good. Yeah, this is so good. Okay, I think I might be done. Hold on. Let's see. One right there. Okay. So yeah, I love the way this is. I love that it's kind of random and here and there. And then I'm just going to give this one, whoops, a quick wipe. Whoops. Okay, there we go. All right, and so I think I'm done stamping with this now. Okay, so now I'm going to lift it carefully, very carefully. There we go. So good. Yay. I love working on tissue. Isn't this fun? It's going to look great on the page as well. All right, so now we can bring the book back. I got to find my page again. Here we are. Okay, and then this is going to go right here. Isn't that great? Ooh, I'm so excited. Okay, so now what I want to do is get my Mod Podge Ultra back. And I'm going to get the brush back. All right, so I'm just going to get the brush, get it in there, get a bunch going, and cover this whole page. I'm just going to really like go for it. You could use, if you don't have Mod Podge Ultra, you could use matte medium for this. That would also work. A lot of people have matte medium already. But if you work with tissue or napkins often, I would recommend picking some of this up. It is really nice when you can just spray it on too. It's really convenient. I just happen to not take good care of mine. So, all right. So I do want this actually to kind of go right to the edge. So let me start there. You can move it around once it's laid down, but you want to be careful because it is pretty delicate. So this looks pretty good to me. Okay, and then we're just going to put more over the top. Of course, remember, you need to make sure that your paint, your acrylic ink or paint or whatever you're putting on this tissue is dry before you move on, so you don't smudge or smear it. All right, and I just love how it just melts into the paper. So good. Oh, so good. And now I don't lose anything that I did in the background. I still have my textures, but we have this great text. And if you tried to just stamp directly onto this page, especially over these texture spots, you wouldn't get a full image. That's another reason I like to use tissues, because I got the full word, the full image. If you try to text over this, you'll miss part of that U and N because that raised texture is there. So, okay, so now this is really wet. So what I like to do is just take a paper towel and kind of pat it and blot it. You don't want to rub or move in this direction because you'll tear the paper. Okay, so just use paper towel, just gently blot it, picking up some of the excess Mod Podge Ultra, and also it's getting that tissue down in the cracks of the texture areas so that you can still have that texture. It's so great. Okay, now I'm gonna dry it. Okay, I have this Amsterdam acrylic marker in silver. It's really beautiful, and I thought it might be fun to just fill in some of these unfoldings with this silver marker. It's so pretty. It just adds a little bit of shimmer, and it's not too overpowering. It's just like a nice sort of accent. Yeah, that's really beautiful. Okay, I'm only gonna do these 3. Here, I'll show you. And I'm just sort of going in the outline. I love this text here. I love that it's sort of, you know, empty in the center, because then you can fill it with whatever color you want. It's kind of a nice, got a nice outline. It's very interesting. I think just to sort of bring the silver over here too, to keep things in balance, I'm gonna just lightly outline these moths in the silver. Just real sketchy, loose kind of outline. Just to have a little bit of this silver shimmer kind of over here, like real loose, as you can see. Okay, and then I can even like do these little drippies. Okay, that's good. Okay, that looks great. Okay, I've got a quote here. Anyway, it says, you've come a long way, baby, a long way, and you're not done yet. And I think that kind of goes with this whole thing here. I wonder if I should put it here. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, I've got some matte medium. I think I like it here. That looks good to me. So I'm just going to actually move it out of the way and put some matte medium here. Move it around with my finger. It's just nice and easy. And then I can sort of bring things back in. Put them where I want them. Oh, maybe I need more here. Okay. Not quite enough. All right. I want it to not be too perfect. Okay, there we go. And then I put some over the top. And I just kind of rub it in, make sure everything's covered. Everything's going to stick down really well, not move. And then with my paper towel, again, I come and pat it. So it helps it sticks to the paper better and also picks up some of the excess. Okay, I'm just using a paint marker to outline this. I really want this to stand out. So we're just going right around each part of the phrase. And this is going to help it stand out on this page really well. Yeah, love that. I also kind of want to take my silver and just kind of go around some of these circles just for fun, just a fun little doodle thing, just to bring the silver into the layout a little bit more. And notice I'm not doing all of them. I'm just like picking and choosing some, just whatever feels good in the moment for me. There's no rhyme or reason to this. You know, I'm just sort of like making my way around. So that's kind of fun. I think this page is done. I'm really excited about it. I love using the tissue over the textured areas and over this page to help you really get exactly what you want and to be able to stamp over you know, layered textured elements and things like that, and still have that background show through. And using the tissue on this registration tool with the sticky mat, excuse me, was fantastic because it kept it down perfectly so you could stamp on it, but then also pulls up nicely and doesn't tear because that stick is not super sticky. So anyway, I love this. I really am excited about all of the new Kerr Sizzix Studio products that are coming out. This is just one of the sets. There were 4, if you remember, and they're all amazing, and you can make millions of different kinds of pages with them. So I hope you found some inspiration here today and enjoyed this project. I hope that you got your journal out and created with me. And if you didn't, go get your journal right now, get some art supplies, maybe go order these new Sizzix Studio Kerr stamp and stencil sets and have a play and see what you can come up with and share it with me. I'd love to see it. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.